Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Hi everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of the tutorial for how I made my explosion box that I made for Skylar for her birthday. Now, when we left off with part 1, we had made the actual box, which looks like this on the outside, and then we have this on the inside. And then we had made our top, which looks like this. So now what we're going to talk about in today's video is our layers that we're going to put on top of here. Now, if you have double-sided paper, you don't have to put another layer on here. You can just go ahead and put your layer that you're going to do for your decorations for the inside of the box, so that when it folds out, it'll fold out to that. But because I have white on the inside and I wanted to have some layers here, we're going to talk about what size to cut your layers. So what you're going to do is take your 12 by 12 sheet of paper, and you're going to cut out your squares. You're going to cut 6 of them at 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. Now what I decided to do was, I'm using the paper that I showed in part 1's video by Me and My Big Ideas, which ended up looking like this. So I'm going to have this here on each square. And what I've also done is gone ahead and put my score tape on the back already. Now you don't have to use score tape if you don't want to. You can use the quick dry adhesive, or you can use your ATG gun. But I'm using the score tape because I really want this to stay down. And I'm going to take and put one here. Now originally I cut out 6 of them using the 12 by 12 sheet of paper. But then I remembered, as I said before in part 1's video, you do have the 4 squares that you cut out. So I decided to go ahead and use one of those squares and cut it down to 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. As you recall, it was 4 inches wide. And I'm going to put that one in the center here. So that would be my, what I'm calling my bottom layer, because I am going to have layers of different things on top of each square. So what you'll need to do is take your 12 by 12 sheet of paper, cut it out 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. You'll cut, if you want to cut all 6 pieces and have your center piece be the same as the others, you'll cut 6 of those. Or you can take and cut 5, and then take your one of your corners from when you were cutting the 4 corners out and cut that down to 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. And put that in the center. And then I want you to go ahead and use whatever adhesive you want to put these down, and then you'll go ahead and put those down. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll start talking about my inside embellishments that I'm going to be putting on the box. Okay everybody, so I'm back and I'm ready to add my last square, which is going to be in the center here. So I'm just going to line this up, and then I'm going to press that down. So now we have the inside of our explosion box. And as you add more layers, this does make your box, more stable. And if you don't have really thick cardstock that you're using to make the outside of the box, as you keep adding layers, it will become sturdier. So now, if we close it up and add our top, like so, it sits like this all the way around, and then when you open it, it explodes out. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over to the computer, and I'm going to talk about how I put all of my layers together using the silhouette. Now you don't have to use a silhouette to do your inside of your explosion box. You can use your Cricut. I'm sure you can find something cartridge that has some of the similar things that I have, and some of the things that I'm actually using the print and cut feature. So let's go over to the computer and I'll show you how I put everything together to go inside the box. Okay everybody, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and opened up my file for all of my embellishments for the inside. So now I'm only going to talk about just a few things that I've gotten from the Silhouette store. So if you want to use the same embellishments, you can get these also from the Silhouette store. So now first of all, for my top, I decided I wanted to use this cake topper, which you can put a candle in the inside. So this file is a Silhouette Studio file, and I'm going to go out to my library and I'm going to show you that file. It is called a 3D flower, and it looks like this right here. So I went ahead and used this. So now when you open this up, I'm going to just click on this and it comes in like this. So what I did was I went ahead and I knew the size of my top was at least 1 inch. So I'm going to just drag this over. Oh, let me undo that real quick. I didn't mean to grab that handle. I want to grab the image and I'm going to move it over to the mat. And my top is right here. So I knew my top was I wanted it, once you fold it in, it's going to be 1 inch all the way around that you fold it in. So that makes your top 5 inches by 5 inches, or at least that's what I came up with. And then I just took my flower topper and I just kept making it larger till I got it to be as large as I wanted it to be. So my top ended up being, let's see, the width was 4.5, and so you'll just make this 4.5 and click lock your aspect ratio and it will size it the way you want without you having to change the width or anything. So that's what size I made that. And then for my next, oh, and then after I did that, let's drag this back over here, that's when I used the fill feature. So this is the one that I used to get my flower, 3D flower, the size that I wanted, or the print pattern that I wanted. And then you'll just go ahead and do your regular cut and print feature like you've done in previous items that I've showed you how to do. So next, let's talk about our shoe. So the shoe is also a Silhouette Studio file. So let's go to our library. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to each one of these in the description bar, as well as the name of the file, and they come with the number when you go to the website, so I'll also include the number as well. So let's bring up the shoe. It's called Fancy Heel, and it comes in at this size. So I knew I needed to fit on my layer. I'm going to move over to my inside bottom layer. And so my inside bottom layer I know is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I just sized the shoe until I got it the size that I wanted. And also the other thing that I did is I took this image right here, and I'm going to be doing a print and cut with this as well. Now I don't remember where I got this image, so I can't give you where I got it on the web. I think in a previous video it might have been in Skylar's explosion box. I think I did use it then, and I might have given a name to it or where you can find that file. So I also put in here some text, and my text says you can never have too many shoes. And so I knew that this shoe needed to fit within here. So I just kept resizing it till I got it the size that I want. And then once again, here is the shoe. I went ahead and sized it to the size. So I'm just gonna drag this to it, make it just a little bit so you can see it. And then I picked my pattern, and this was the pattern that I picked. And I went in and also made sure that my line was solid. And then you can go ahead and do your print and cut feature with this. The other thing that I've also done is I did do an offset of this because I wanted another layer behind this. So I just went up to my offset window, which is right here, and then I clicked the offset, and then I went ahead and brought it in as much as I wanted it to be, and then clicked apply. So you'll have your other shoe behind there. Now of course that's not the size that it ended up being. My shoe ended up being, for the background it was, or the offset, it was 3.30 for the height and 3.405 for the width. And for the shoe itself, the shoe is 3.24 for the width and 3.135 for the height. So you make it whatever size you want it to be. I just gave you those sizes in case you want to do it the size that I did. And then of course I have a happy birthday in there as part of one of my layers, and this is a file that I got off the internet. I'm sorry, I don't remember where I got it. And then I have my print and cut for my final two squares, where I've put in my own sentiment, and then I found another sentiment that I liked on the internet. So basically those are the embellishments that I'm putting in the inside of my box. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and pick whatever embellishments you want to put inside your box and put them in the inside of the box, and then decorate the outside of your box. And then I will come back with the finished explosion box in my part 3 video, along with the other gift that I'm making to give to my mother. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.